It's story time. Pinocchio. Geppetto was a carpenter who made wooden toys for the children of his village. One day, he made a puppet in the shape of a boy, and he wished for the boy to be a real one. A fairy heard his words, and something magical happened. The puppet came alive and began to dance and sing. "Why, you're alive!" he said. "I shall call you Pinocchio. You shall be the son I never had." But there was a condition for this boy to stay this way. He must be a good boy and always tell the truth. Geppetto loved his boy very much, but Pinocchio was very naughty, rarely told the truth, and when he lied, his nose would grow long. Every day, Geppetto would bring him to school, but he would always distract himself with other irrelevant things, and he would skip it. One day, Pinocchio's guardian fairy, who was dressed all in blue and had a blue hair, found Pinocchio wandering around, so she approached him. "Why didn't you go to school today?" she asked Pinocchio with her sweet voice. "I did," answered Pinocchio. Just then, his nose shot out like a tree branch. "What's happening to my nose?" he cried. "Every time you tell a lie, your nose will grow. When you tell the truth, it will shrink," said the blue fairy. "Pinocchio, you can only become a real boy when you learn how to be brave, honest, and generous," said the blue fairy. She told Pinocchio to go home and not to stop for any reason. Pinocchio tried to remember what the blue fairy told him, but on the way home he met some boys. "Come with us to Funland," said the boys. "It is an awesome place filled with games, giant cakes, pretty candies, and circuses." Tempting was this suggestion to Pinocchio, so he went with the boys to Funland. But what the boys didn't know was that if you were a bad boy, you were going to be turned into a donkey and trained for the circus. It was not very long before the boys began to change into donkeys. "That's what happens to bad boys," said the circus master who was in charge there, as he made Pinocchio jump through a hoop. Pinocchio could only grow a donkey's ears, feet, and tail because he was made out of wood. The circus master couldn't sell him to any circus, so he threw Pinocchio into the sea. As soon as he was in the water, the spell was broken. Pinocchio became a puppet once again. A whale that was swimming there opened his huge mouth and swallowed Pinocchio. In the whale's stomach, Pinocchio saw a boat. "Who's there by the light?" called Pinocchio, his voice echoing. Who's there by the light?" called Pinocchio. "Pinocchio, is that you?" asked a tired voice. "Father, you're here and you're alive!" Pinocchio shouted with joy. "I was looking for you when the whale swallowed me up. I'm so glad to have found you, my son," said Geppetto. They hugged each other in delight. When the whale was asleep, they crept out of its huge mouth and sailed home. When they reached home, Geppetto fell ill. Pinocchio fed him with hot soup and looked after him. "I will go to school and work hard so that I can earn lots of money," said Pinocchio. "You will never have to work again." So Pinocchio studied hard in the school. Then, one day a wonderful thing happened. The blue fairy appeared and said, "Pinocchio, you are brave and you have a kind heart. You deserve to become a real boy." The next morning, Pinocchio came running down the steps, jumping and waving his arms. He ran to Geppetto, shouting, "Look, father, I am a real boy." To support us, please subscribe to Storytime.